Hello, how is everyone? Good to see you. I'm just kind of doubling up on a couple of little checks here. There we go. All right. How are you doing? It's Leslie Denny from Yoga Oceanside, and it's time for chair class on Tuesday. And I'm so very glad that you're here joining us today. I've got a few things to share with you, like I always do. So let me come over to my little seated area here because I have something else I want to show you close up. So hang on. When I was thinking about a phrase for today, I started reading through different things, and I stumbled upon this one with Willie Nelson, the country western artist. And he said, once you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you'll start having positive results. And I don't know how everybody else is doing, but for me, some mornings I've had a little bit of a struggle. I get up in the morning and I'm not sure where my head is at. I'm trying to stay focused and centered, and yet sometimes my head spins out of control, and sometimes I'll get a little frustrated, or I don't have as much patience as I should. And when I thought about that idea of replacing negative thoughts with positive ones, it was so logical, but I thought, what's something that I could do to help me think of maybe an intention? We talk about our intentions in yoga a lot. Our sankalpa in Sanskrit is what it's known as. And it's a word that actually allows us to focus on a place where we would like to be. That's kind of the whole idea. And when I think about different words that can affect that, I sometimes run short. I immediately go to I am peace and I am present. Those are usually my two go-tos with my sankalpas. But what I decided to do was I went out on Google and I Googled, maybe what I think I put in was motivational or inspirational words. And I got this list on this one readout. I'm going to hold it pretty close to you. But it has all kinds of different words that you can think of or you can read that can be inspiring and motivating. So I really liked that idea. I'm going to come over here and have a seat. I'm going to sit my feet on my block today. And when I started reading through the words, the one word that really got me was the word focus. Sometimes I lose focus. It's like I feel like I'm a human camera and I'm trying to zero in on something and I just can't seem to bring it into focus because my emotions get in the way, or maybe my head is thinking about so much that I can't really focus on being in the moment. And so that one inspired me. Another one that inspired me was enthusiasm. Sometimes I'm enthusiastic when the day rolls the way that I want it. Boy, isn't it easy to be enthusiastic when everything's going the way you want it. But when things aren't going the way that you want them, it's sometimes hard to be enthusiastic. And yet that is where the gift of enthusiasm lifts you up so much more, is when the circumstances don't lend itself to it, and yet there you are, focusing on that emotion, that feeling, that kind of mindfulness, if you will, that focus. Then the other one that got me, which is my story to share with you today, if you were with us on the prior class for stretch and release, it'll be a repeat, but I think it's worth sharing again, is the word hope. That's the one that really got my heartstrings going. I thought when I went through this whole list and I saw the word hope, I was like, that's it. It's right below the word gratitude. And it's not really in alphabetical order. It's just these words put out onto a sheet. And I thought, hope, that's the one. I am hope. Because when I begin to focus on myself as having that intention of hope, then I start to fulfill the things that I know I'm capable of fulfilling for myself. And when I maintain hope and I fulfill those things that I know I'm capable of fulfilling, then I can turn that around and offer more to those around us, and hopefully provide hope for others. And that's what I like about us joining together. Now, my story to share is pretty simple. It's some friends that actually do a lot of animal rescue that live back east. And they, one of them is a retired veterinarian, and then the other one is a retired vet tech. And they're married, and they have primarily spent their time on feline rescues. It's not that they have more of an expertise in one direction or the other, but they do tend to kind of travel with the pack of people that are rescuing cats. And so because I have always had cats, I've always been interested in what they do because they've been of great support to me. And they will have people that will drop off kittens and just newly delivered mother cats that are out there wandering to them just to be rescued and medically taken care of, and then hopefully finding foster homes for them. And they've done an amazing job at doing this through the years that I've known them. And recently, probably about 4 weeks ago, I think is how long it's been, 4 or 5 weeks, they had a baby kitten that was delivered to them. It was almost newborn. I think it was only, they guessed, about 7 days old, 12 to 12 days old, something along those lines. So it was very infant kitten. And when they got the kitten, they were really worried about it, as they always are. And they could tell that it had barely been weaned, and so, or actually nursed rather. And so they began first by putting it in an incubator. They have a big incubator at their home. And then they started bottle feeding it, and they're very good at bottle feeding them, and knowing all of the right tools to try to increase this poor little infant kitten's comfort zone. So they started nursing it, literally, and caring for it, and they do it around the clock. They would get up, they would feed it, they would come back, check each one of them, and that's what they do. And sometimes they only have one, and sometimes I've seen them have as many as 15 that they're working with, but they just work around the clock to the point of exhaustion just to make sure that they're doing what they need to do. So they're nursing this one along, and it's getting a little stronger. And if you've ever noticed any kind of, especially with cats, they come out and they're flat-eared and they don't really look like anything more than a little fuzzy worm. And then pretty soon the ears start lifting up, and that's what started happening with this little girl. And she was white, and her little ears started perking up, her tail started getting a little bit fluffier, and they could tell that she had points, little orange points starting to appear. And they said that's more of a breed of cat. So we're keeping a close eye on her. She's feeding well. She got old enough to be able to start to get used to having some stuffed toys in her incubator that simulated a mother cat. So she got used to that. And then when she got strong enough, they went ahead and put her near, they have a small dog, a little Chihuahua blend, who is used to being around cats. It's kind of a nursing dog that is used to rescuing cats. And so they put her near that, and they bonded just like that. So as they were moving her along, and they could tell that she was pretty much out of the danger zone and she was going to be okay. They still have a watch on her from a respiratory standpoint, but she's doing really well. They hadn't named her. So they had a fundraiser, because they're always trying to build funds. And they said the fundraiser will be everybody, if they donate $5, they can have a vote for the name of this kitten. And then we'll do a Wheel of Fortune kind of thing and win the big winner, you know, announce the big winner. So they had the fundraiser, and people donated and put in their votes for what they thought the name of the kitten should be. And then when they announced the winner's name had chosen Hope. And I got goosebumps thinking about it. This little kitten, who really, it's a miracle that it survived, that it found its way into someone's hands and was rescued and turned over to two people that were probably, to me, one of the greatest experts in the world in rescuing and helping a forlorn, lost, weak, sick kitten. And the name Hope really put a place in my heart. And that's when I ran across that list of motivational words and I thought, hope. Hope moves us to a higher place. Whether it's that we have hope that the day will work out well, whether we have hope that those of us that have loved ones know that we have hope that they do well, that they're okay, they're safe, they're sound, they have everything they need. Maybe hope for our practice. Whatever we do in our chair today, we always have hope that it's going to feel good to us, deliver the things that we need, make it the way that we need it to be. And we have hope that we will always have that sense of direction, that inner compass to know what movements to move into, where to dial back, where to go deeper, so that we always build the practice that suits us best. That takes hope. And when we have hope, many times we're never feeling like we're falling short or feeling negative about things. So for my intention today, I'm going to choose that word hope. I'm going to say, I am hope. That's exactly what I will depict. And I'm going to read out a few of these other words, and I'm going to ask that you, if you're putting on some oil, feel free to put some on. I chose jasmine today. I've been working with jasmine for quite a few days. Jasmine is a very uplifting, centering oil. And so that's the one I'm going to put on. You might have something that you prefer that's your go-to oil. And as you settle yourself into your chair, if you want to use a block to keep your feet rested upon to relax through the hips, feel free. And hopefully you have a chair with a back on it so that when you lean into it, you feel completely supported. You can relax your abdominals, your hands can rest into your lap. And if you closed your eyes, if you're comfortable doing that, you would feel completely steady. So if it's good for you, just close your eyes for a moment and take a few deep breaths. Then focus inward. And I will read several of these words. And when you hear the one that works for you, for your intention, lock right into that one. If you already have one chosen, just keep repeating in your mind the sentence, I am, with whatever word you've chosen. You can say it out loud too, if you like. Determination. Empowered. Faithful. Forgiving. Grateful. Hope. Joyful. Inspired. Motivated. Patient. Energetic. Reminiscent. Peaceful. Committed. Adventure. Kind. Mindful. Powerful. Trusting. compassionate, believing, positive. Whatever word completed that sankalpa, that intention for you, keep repeating it in your mind. Allow it to fulfill you with a focus that completes you in this moment. Feel your breath moving in and out of your body. Open yourself up to this practice without expectation. Perhaps living in the present without even imagining what will unfold. Even though things will feel familiar if you're a regular, have a newcomer's heart. Be willing to open up to explore completely whatever unfolds, knowing that you will have all that empowerment to be able to change what doesn't work for you, incorporate what does. Let this practice be a living practice, a movement of meditation, an exploration of all that you are, and acceptance in that space. Just relax the hands towards your lap, and if you've got some music playing, you want to turn that back up a little bit, feel free. And just feel the breath moving through you from inhale to exhale. Notice how it feels to take that breath high up into the heart center. Notice if your shoulders are in movement or if they feel really relaxed. Try to relax through the arms down to the palms of your hands. And then draw the chin to the chest. Exhale the air out. Let's feel that gentle stretch through the upper portion of your spine. Maybe into the back of the neck. And just keep breathing into that stretch. Keep repeating that intention in your mind. And then slowly roll the head over to one side and reach an ear towards the shoulder. Just keep it towards the side without rolling the head all the way back. And then just see if you can relax the opposite shoulder. Not necessarily pull it down, but just relax it so that you feel that stretch open up just a little bit more. And then draw the chin to the chest nice and slow and roll it to the other side. Stop when you feel that stretch point and just hold on right there. And then try to relax that opposite shoulder just a little bit without pulling it down. And then bring the chin to the chest once again. And then slowly lift the head. And keep lifting the head without dropping it back. Just lift the chin up and out. And you'll feel this nice stretch through your muscles here, your scalenes. And then again, try to relax the shoulders down. So it's very slow, intentional, mindful movement. That might have been one of your words. And then gently bring the head back to neutral. Good. Then turn the head to one direction. So this one's, it seems like it's easy, but it's a little tricky because we want to keep the shoulders right in place and only turn the head till you feel the stretch and stop point. Yeah. And it's going to be different for everybody. Some people just don't have as much rotation as others. So just move to where you feel the stretch and hold on. And then slowly turn the head to the other direction and stretch. And then as you turn the head to face forward, gently nod the head up and down. Notice I'm not going into a great degree of positioning. I'm just kind of nodding the chin up and down. You're doing great. How does it feel? Nice. And then lift the shoulders up like you're going to take them towards your knees. Really hunched up shoulders. And then bring the shoulders out, back, and down. Good. And keep rolling them around. Good. Nice, big rotational movement. Whenever I think about hunched up shoulders, it's a creepy movie, but it's an old movie, Rosemary's Baby, if you've ever seen that. I've always been like a scary movie fan since I was a little kid. And I was probably far too young to really go see that movie because there was a scene in it that was inappropriate for children, but my parents didn't know that. And so I remember when that scene came on, my mom went, oh, and put her hands over my eyes. And of course, I'm sitting there trying to peer through the little cracks in her fingers to see what's going on, but I didn't know what was happening. But in that movie, Ruth Gordon played one of the neighbors and the wife of one of the neighbors. And I just remember when she'd walk around, she kind of had these little hunched shoulders when she would walk. I don't know if you remember that, but it just came to my mind when we were doing this, little hunched shoulders. Good. And then go ahead and draw those arms behind you. Shoulders are at neutral. Grab to the back part of your chair and squeeze your shoulder blades together. And just lift up through that chest and take some deep breaths. Excellent. Good. This time, I want you to just lift up one arm. Doesn't matter which one. I'm lifting up my right arm. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually stretch and point my finger towards the opposite corner of the room. I'm not dropping it down. I'm keeping it lifted. And what that does is it opens up the shoulder assembly a little bit. So just keep stretching and breathe into it. I hope everything's nice where you are. I don't know where you're watching from, but we've got some beautiful weather over here in San Diego today, Oceanside. And then release from there and stretch the opposite arm up and then at an angle. And we've been getting fresh vegetables delivered on Fridays at our house from our local farm. And boy, has it been nice. Had so many lovely things that it's just great. I'm really enjoying myself. And then release from there. Then go back into those shoulder circles, up and around. Good. Nice. Good. And then come back to a neutral spine. When you lengthen, you may pull yourself away from the back part of your chair. But remember, if you need that support of the back part of your chair, keep holding on. We're going to lift up both arms and then bend the elbows and slowly turn in one direction. Now you want to check in to that low back. If you start to feel it at the low back, it's a little bit too much of a rotation. So try to tighten up your abdominals just a little bit. When you do that, it provides a natural stopgap to keep you from overturning. So as soon as I pull my belly in, I'm not going any farther than that, but I've got myself a nice energetic turn. This also helps increase your circulation. As the arms are up, you're in that rotation and you're breathing deep, that's going to get that blood flowing a lot so that you don't necessarily have to do a lot of jumping jacks or running around the house to be able to increase the circulation. This will help. And then slowly try to keep the elbows up and turn to the opposite direction. And you're just going to be like one of those radar towers. Yeah, you're just going to keep rotating. Good. So inhaling, slowly rotate facing forward. Exhale, breathe it out and turn. Then inhale, bring it forward. I know those arms are getting tired. Exhale, pull in through those abdominals and turn. Then inhale, turn it facing forward. Exhale, pull in through the belly and rotate. Inhale, facing forward. Exhale, pull in and rotate. And just do that maybe 3 more times to each side. But if you're starting to feel like your arms and your shoulders are starting to get too sore, you're getting cranky, then go ahead and drop the arms and bring it back to your neutral seated posture. I've got 2 more to each side if you're still with me, and if you're not, you're still with me. Good. And then rotate forward. Exhale as you turn. You've just got 1 more to each side. I know those shoulders are starting to feel it. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, bring it forward, and exhale to the rotation. Inhale, bring it forward, and relax the hands to your laps. Woo! Then roll those shoulders up and around and circle it around. I know that got you. Boy, I have to check my heart rate there. I know that brought it up a little bit. So now we're going to move into our sun salutations. On the inhale, reach the arms up. Probably a little more range. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, reach the arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Good. Keep moving through it. If you remember joining us last Thursday, and I hope you were with us last Thursday, because we added a little extra to this flow to, again, increase intensity. But, you know, the thing about that we love, especially about our chair yoga, is that we all don't need to work at the same rates of intensity. In fact, there's going to be days when I wake up and I'm just feeling like I've got to dial back today because I need to practice self-care so that I can maybe work a little more differently on the next day. Just keep moving through your flow. This might be one of those days. So if you feel that way, just keep working only in the range that feels best to you. Good. Now we're going to add that little bit of a layer of intensity. Inhaling, reach up. Exhale into forward fold. With the next inhale, reach the arms out to the side. Notice I'm not lifting the head. And then exhale, forward fold. Then inhale, reach up. Exhaling, hands to heart. We'll do 4 of those. Inhaling, sweep up. Exhale into forward fold. Inhale, lengthen to flat back stretch. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhaling, hands at heart center. Inhaling, sweep up. Exhale into your forward fold. Flat back stretch with an extension of the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhaling, hands at heart center. Inhaling, sweep up. Exhale to forward fold. Lengthen to that flat back, extension of the arms, your call. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhaling, hands to heart, and 1 more. Inhaling, sweep up. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, flat back with arm extension, choice. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. And exhaling, hands at heart center. Hinge forward. So notice that I'm going to be kind of working to that flat back where I'm hinged forward, and I'm going to draw the arms out to the side like those little cactus arms. Then from here, try not to lift your head. Trust that you know what I'm asking you to do just by verbalizing it. You don't have to look at the screen at this moment. So protect that neck. With the inhale, I want you to reach the arms out. Exhale, draw them back in and try to squeeze those shoulder blades together. Inhaling, extend. Exhale, pull that belly in as you draw those elbows down and back to the side. Keep working through that flow. And I know that if you start to feel it in your low back, you're collapsing. So you might want to take it up a little higher and just move it from an upright seated posture. And that's fine. If you're hinged forward on that exhale, really engage the belly, and that's going to give that little extra protection for your back. Exhale. Keep working at it. We've got 4 more to go. Less if it's too much. Always, that's our mantra. If we don't feel like doing more, you don't have to do more, because this is your practice, and that does not mean that you're not with us. That means you're absolutely with us, and you're with yourself too. Then one more flow from here. Good, and then release, shoulder circles up and around. Whew. Did you feel that? I sure did. It felt good though. It felt very good. So now we're going to really stretch through that area that you just worked by drawing one arm across the chest and stretch until you feel it right into that deltoid muscle right here. Shoulder rotator cuff muscles right back here. Got 3 of them back there. You're working, so just keep the stretch nice and strong. Then as the elbow is slightly bent, see how it feels as you extend the arm straight out. It changes, yeah? If that's too much, bend it and then extend. So you can either keep it bent or keep it extended so long as you feel comfortable. If you're moving that elbow like I am, you're giving yourself a very mild dynamic stretch to those muscles. And it's just very steady and slow. And of course, if anything feels uncomfortable, burning, like you're pushing yourself too hard, then dial back. This is your time. Good. And then one more from there, and then release. Good job. Let's take it to the other side. Pull into the stretch first. Keep the elbow bent a little bit. I'm trying not to smash my arm into the mic this time. Then lengthen the arm and then bend. I've got my elbow lifted a little bit to avoid the mic, so you can keep the arm down closer into your chest if you'd like. And just keep moving it right from there. Nice extension, slow bend, but remember, if you want to keep it bent or extend it all the way, you're welcome to it. Just whatever feels good. That's what I love about our time together, is that it reminds me that even though we're all different and we all may have a different range of practice, that we're all in it together. And that's where the union, that's where the yoga is for us. Good. And then just do that one more time. And then release from there. And then again, shoulder circles up and around. How's it feeling? Do a little check-in, get some water if you need it. Yeah, keep hydrated throughout your practice. So good for you to keep that hydration going. Good. Then draw the arms behind you. Now this time, either hold to the back of your chair. If you're comfortable clasping the hands, go for it. If you feel like you need to use your strap behind you to hold on to, feel free. And then draw those shoulders down and then lift the arms up. Notice I'm not leaning forward. I'm keeping that head and neck very neutral. And I just feel the stretch in the front of my chest, right across this chest line. And I feel the contraction in my upper back. And I'm really squeezing those shoulder blades together. So again, range will be different for everybody. So just work it where you feel best. And take a couple more deep breaths here. Good, one more deep breath. And then release. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's go ahead and come to your seated posture. 2 sun salutations. Inhale, reach up with the option of intensity if you choose. Exhale, forward fold. If you'd like, reach those arms out, long, flat back. Exhale, release into forward fold. Inhaling, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good, let's do one more. Inhaling, reach up. Exhale into forward fold. Flat back with the arm extended if you like. Release into your forward fold. Sweep those arms out and up and draw the hands to heart. Excuse me. I apologize for that. I got a little tickle in my throat. So hopefully that'll work its way out. Good. Sorry about that. Now we're going to come to the back part of your chair. If you need to move the block out of the way, gently lift up, close to the chair as you come to the back. I think that got it. Good. We're going to do something a little different today. Try to lift up your heels. Hold there. Then as you reach the arms up, see if you can reach both arms up. Then slowly lower heels down. Keeping the arms up, if you can. If you need to hold on to the chair, both sides, feel free. This is just a higher range of intensity, but I don't want you to feel unstable. With arms up, lift the heels and then slowly lower. Now, when you run the front of your thighs to the chair, that way give you a little bit more feeling of stability. It's not really like the chair is holding you in place, but that little feeling of stability, I don't know, it's kind of like an intention for me. When I think of my intention, it makes me feel a little more centered and stable. So using the chair back to run your thighs along can give you that in your balance pose when you're doing this and allow you to really focus on the strengthening of your ankle muscles. And also if you need to take those arms down at any time, feel free. We're just going to do 3 more of those. Lifting and slowly lowering, and then lifting and slowly lowering, and one final lift and slowly lower. Good. Go ahead and draw those arms down and then drop into your forward fold. Grab onto your chair, step your feet back. So lately we've been primarily working into a warrior 1 when we rise up. We're going to go into a high lunge, and the difference is the back heel will be lifted up. If that's not comfortable for you, you don't need to do that. And we're going to do it in a couple of stages. So stepping the right foot forward, keep lengthening through the legs. They're nice and straight right now. So what you do from here is you open yourself up to a nice deep stretch through the back of both legs. Good. Now just hold on there for about 2 more breaths. Allow yourself to acclimate. Good. Now, as you bend through both knees, lift the back heel up and then round the back and roll it up. Good. As you're rolling it up, keep holding onto your chair, but I want you to look back. And if your heel is turned in, you can see the inside of your heel. Pivot that heel out so it's in line with your knee. Likewise, if the heel is turned out, turn that heel in so that basically your knee and heel and toes are all in alignment. What this does is it keeps the strength and the support through the midsection of that ankle and leg. When we start to pivot in one direction or the other, more of the load goes into the knee. And you want to keep it in the muscles to support and not bring it into a joint, because a joint isn't load bearing, it's It's one of the mechanisms that maneuvers our body, but it's not meant to support an undue weight. So once you have your feet anchored, then check into the other leg, the leg that's in front. Again, knee tracking over the toes as best you can. And then slowly lift up. As soon as you lift that torso up, can you feel the stretch in the front of your hip there? I can. Those hip flexor muscles that you have there, especially if we sit a lot, will probably really appreciate this little stretch that you're moving into. So from here, we then have the ability to incorporate some balance. And if you're not feeling, if you feel a little shaky today, just keep holding onto your chair because you're doing great work just holding this pose. And anytime that leg gets fatigued with the heel off the mat, you can drop that heel back down or step out of the pose altogether. Remember, you're in control here. Then from here, see if you can reach one or both arms up. That's why we did that first heel lift on our standing chair postures. And if you're starting to feel like, whoa, then go ahead and drop a hand or both back down. Otherwise, see if you can take 2 more breaths here. Good, and 1 more deep breath. I can hear you. And then release and step to the front. How did that feel? If you need to shake out a little leg or 2, feel free to do so. And we're going to work to the other side. Go ahead and release into your forward fold, stepping the opposite foot back. So now my left foot is forward, legs are straight. I'm not locked out at the knee. I'm not popping out at the knee. We don't want to pop out at the knee a lot because that overstretches the ligaments that support the joint. So have a little bit of a micro bend here and not create compression that feels uncomfortable in the knee joint. And as you incorporate that stretch, from here, go ahead and bend into both of those knees a little bit. Take that back heel up, then round the back and roll it up. Good. Then do your check. Check the back. Now see my heel turned in a little bit. I've always had trouble with this knee, lots of troubles. So that heel turned in. So I have to work at bringing that heel back in line with the knee. Checking my front foot. Yep, everything looks in line. And then from here, I'm going to lift up. Just really embrace that stretch through the hip. And then if I feel comfortable, reach one or both arms up. So it's all up to you. Just take a couple of breaths. And then we're going to do a very different stretch for you. Good. Is that a teaser or what? It's kind of like at the end of a season on TV. You know that there's something coming and a reason to stick with it. So hang on. Try to take 2 more breaths here, either holding on or in semi-balance or full-on balanced load there. And then as you exhale that last breath, go ahead and release and step it forward. Shake the legs out a little bit if you need to. How did that feel? I hope it felt good. Now, the next stretch that we're going to move into incorporates a stretch in a muscle called the soleus. And I'm going to turn my chair to the side. You keep facing me here, but I'm just going to turn mine to the side. When we think about the calf muscles, we have the gastrocnemius, which is the big muscle that is along the back of the calf. Buried within there is the soleus muscle. And you can actually, you have different muscles that round up here, but the soleus also can channels itself towards the inside of the front. And getting into the soleus, when you stretch your calves, you do, but this is a little bit of a different stretch that will specifically access that soleus. So give me just a second and I'm going to demonstrate it for you before we all move into it together. As I step 1 foot back, I'm going to bend into both knees and notice that I'm not all the way back, nor am I in a high lunge. What I'm actually doing is sitting a little closer together, knees tracking over the toes. And the minute I bend into both of those knees and tuck my tailbone under, I can actually feel that stretch in the calf and in the soleus muscle. So what I want you to do is just go ahead and step 1 foot forward, yeah, and bring that back foot in just a little bit. I only have about maybe 6 inches between the back of my heel and my toes on the back foot. And then from there, stand up nice and tall, and then bend into the knees and just let those knees go forward a little bit as you drop the hips down. Then tuck the tailbone under. Can you feel it? I wish I had a chat thread. I can't see chat threads on my Zoom here because I'm working off of my iPhone, but I sure wish I could hear your responses and find out if you can feel that. This is actually one of my favorite stretches to do because I get a lot of calf tension. So you may feel that. And as soon as you start to feel it relax, check into those hips. See if you're dropping the tailbone back out and then pull it back in. And then you'll feel it really connect. And then release from there and swap it off to the other side. So fairly narrow stance, feet are hip width apart. That's like this. Then as I bend into both of the knees and tuck the tailbone under, I can feel it right into that calf muscle. Yes, I can. That feels tight. And I can feel that I'm pretty tight in those muscles today. I also feel it on the inside of my thigh. So you may feel it in some other areas. If you feel it in your knee joint and it feels like a burning feeling in your knee joint, back out of it. It's not worth doing. You can always stretch any muscle so many different ways. So if this one's not working for you, don't even worry about it. And just take a few more deep breaths right here. Good, and then release from there and shake those legs out. I'm going to turn my chair back around for us and let's go ahead and come to a seated posture. You did great. Let's move into a couple of stretches. If you want to put on a little extra oil, feel free to do so. For gosh sakes, do the things that you need to do to take care of yourself. Self-care is highly underrated. We care so quickly and so easily. Are you one of those that rushes to the aid of others? I know when it comes to doing that, we have more energy, focus, and actually compassion, empathy, everything to do things for others. So take care of yourself. Okay, grab your strap. Don't fall out of the chair like I just did. And take it to the end of one foot, your choice, and stretch that leg out. And then just bring it. We're going to go right into this stretch. So once you bring that leg up, go ahead and swing it out to the side. And I'm going to double up on my strap here, but you do what you need to do. And I'm also going to walk my way a little bit more towards the edge of the seat so that I can feel that stretch here. You may feel it with the seat seated all the way to the back of the chair and just bringing the leg out to the side. So remember, even though we're all different, doesn't mean that we're not celebrating the same practice. So just keep feeling that stretch nice and good there. And then bring that leg in, hand it off to the other hand, and gently move into that rotation. Remember, keep the abdominals engaged so you don't overstretch yourself and you feel comfortable where you are. And then release from there. Let's switch it off to the other side. Just hook that little foot and draw it up. Wrap your strap. One particular delivery person, I think he's with, see the FedEx person. No, it's the UPS person. He's in Brown. He likes to kind of connect with my cat, Merlin, on the front porch. And today they had a little game going while I was teaching class here with you. He was bringing a little package, and we have a little table out in front that people can rest packages on. And he was resting the packages there. And then I could see him looking at Merlin, and Merlin jumped behind the little bookcase and was just peering over at him and reaching up and down to try to play a little game with him. And I thought, how sweet that in the midst of so many things going on right now, draw it in and switch it off. And especially I think of all of these essential workers, delivery people, hospital workers, medical workers, you know, people at the restaurants that are trying to make things work. Even, you know, individuals here that you're seeing that are doing something that's completely outside the norm for us at Yoga Oceanside, but we're doing our best hearts and souls to make this work. That somebody like that would take time out of their busy schedule in the middle of the day to try to connect with my cat. I love that person. I don't care who they are. I love them for doing something like that, because that tells me everything I need to know about them. And then release from there. Oh, you did great today. So go ahead and put your things to the side. And if you are inclined to lie down on the mat, feel free to do that. If you like to rest your legs up against the wall, or have that chair situated so you can lie on your back and rest your lower legs onto the chair seat, feel free to do that as well. If you're using an essential oil, just go ahead and smear a little bit more of that on. And then take a deep inhale. And this might inspire you that if you've never ventured into using an essential oil to stimulate your practice, you may find some things that you do like to work with, and feel free to Google those things, or for gosh sakes, ask me. Feel free to ask me, reach out to me if you'd like. My email is pretty accessible to everybody, and I know Danette at Yoga Oceanside would be more than happy to share. And so if you'd like to reach out to me to talk about oils, and especially when we look forward to getting the studio reopened, being able to explore those oils there that we have for sale in the boutique, what a great chance to learn about something that maybe you weren't quite as familiar with. Good. All right. So let's come to that comfortable posture. And remembering our phrase, once you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you'll start having results. Good old Willie Nelson. He's such a good soul. Then go ahead and come to your posture. And if you're using an eye pillow, go ahead and rest that over your eyes, or make any little shifts in your body so that you're comfortable and feel supported, centered, and stable. And just think about some of these words and the emotions that they evoke. Encouragement, contentment, attitude, compassion, encouragement, peaceful, persuasive, secure, breathtaking, breath-giving. Just allow yourself to come into that comfortable, peaceful space. Drift away a little bit, but don't drift too far. And when it's time to come back, I'll come for you. Take a deep breath. Maybe move your fingers and your toes just a little bit. Reflect on the word that became your intention for your practice today, whatever that was. If you're lying on the mat, then feel free to roll yourself over to one side and push yourself back to an upright seated posture. And let's draw our hands to the heart. Whatever your word is that fulfills you today, let it lift you up. If feelings of negativity bubble up, remember that word and allow it to bring you right to that space where you feel powerful, strong, peaceful, and present. Lokaha, samistaha, sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy, free, and at peace. Namaste. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you can come and join us on Thursday at 12 noon Central Standard Time for the next practice. This is Leslie Denny signing off for Yoga Oceanside. Have a beautiful day.